danger he's becoming.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh, that's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.
Gonna run it down. He goes with it. Adebayo for the win.
Yeah, welcome to the 5 Reasons Sports Postgame Show, aka the Post Up on 5R, brought to you by A Aggressive Insurance. Visit her at www.insurancebylanette.com or give her a phone call at 954-581-8800 for any of your insurance needs. Also brought to you by CPT Florida. If you have a small business and you want to get any of your technological needs met, then visit cptflorida.com and they will get you all hooked up. I wanted to get those things out the way very quickly. You can take that shit off the screen. I'm already done with that. I wanted to get those things out the way before I started using profane language to talk about Nikola Jokic's mother. But that boy is a bitch ass, hoe ass bitch. I just want to put that out there. Those are my feelings about Nikola Jokic at this moment. This pussy decided that he was going to push Markieff Morris in his back. The game is immaterial. Like, sure. we
You just mute yourself? You muted.
I didn't mute myself. That was Nikola Jokic trying to censor me. Look at him, bro, with his little Nazi internet trying to silence you. You can't do it.
Jesus Christ.
What is so we're here.
Bro,
he muted himself again.
I'm not muting myself. Here are my hands. This is Nikola Jokic's dirty work. This bitch decided he wanted to push fucking Markieff Morris in the back. Yeah, Markieff Morris fouled him, but he fouled him when he could see it coming. He decided to foul this man in his back and damn near break his neck out there. Like that was some pussy shit, bro. Like I wasn't a fan of that. Like, granted, I wasn't a fan of the whole game, so I'll let y'all get y'all thoughts in on that. But I just felt like Nikola Jokic and his mom need to, you know what I mean, need to be put in the forefront of this episode because both of them are hoes. And I want to make that perfectly clear. Ariel, you want to talk about Jokic being a bitch, or you want to talk about the game?
I don't know. To be honest with you, I don't want to talk about the game. The game sucked. One of those games you kind of probably see coming. Happens to the Heat every year. I think we probably talked ourselves into maybe this time being a little bit different because of how good the Heat have looked to start this season. But alas, it was the same Heat at Nuggets game that we've probably seen over the last 5 or 6 years every single time. They get killed in the paint. Point of attack defense, just a catastrophe. No effort, no focus. You get killed on the road like that. So that's what happened. As for Nikola Jokic, gutless, spineless, no balls, no nothing. I mean, that was just – I mean, if you have a problem with dude, yell at him and then have him turn around. And then if you want to square up, if you want to shove him, if you want to do some shit like that, go ahead. But you don't run at a guy who is literally standing / kind of just walking, and you run at him full force and kind of just like shoulder him in the middle of his back. Like, that's how you get whiplash. Like, that's how you can really hurt somebody. So that was, and I mean, you're up 17, dude. He took a take foul on you to stop the transition opportunity. Like, it's some temperamental shit that there's absolutely no reason for. So I like Nikola Jokic. I don't like him anymore. That was some weak sauce. And my favorite part of the whole game tonight was Jimmy Butler telling him to take that shit in the back, bring that energy back there.
Yeah, I think that's going to be something that we see a lot of. We're going to reciprocate a lot of energy when they bring their ass back to
November 29th.
Level Earth in Miami when you don't have the advantage of being in the fucking clouds.
Cowards.
Yeah, bro. Listen, bro. He probably took that foul because it didn't translate into English what the fuck he was supposed to be doing out there on the court. Brian, tell me what you thought about this game, or bitch ass Nikola Jokic, who he will be referred to as for the rest of his goddamn life.
Yeah, as far as Jokic goes, like that's the first time I've ever seen or remember Jokic having any type of an altercation with anybody. Like, he seems like a pretty happy-go-lucky dude typically, and I know that he's from I believe he has like brothers in the mob. So I don't know. Maybe he's just like that. Maybe he's
brothers in Auschwitz.
Yeah, listen. I'm not gonna say that on stream, but yeah. So
I'm in rare form
maybe,
tonight, bro. Like, hey, bro, make me angry. You make me legit
I get
mad.
it.
I hear you.
Like, I understand. Like, I was gonna say maybe his family has bodies somewhere, so he's just used to doing dangerous shit like that. But you can legitimately kill a human being that way. You're probably near 300 pounds. You're gonna run at them full force, and like that's not okay. That's a legitimately dangerous thing to do. It's cool that, or it's good that Markieff is okay. Like that was the highlight of the night. But yeah, I mean, we all kind of expected this game. Because it's like I don't want to be reductive of Denver being a good team, but I'm like 100% sure it's just elevation. Like we're talking about the Heat players going from a city that's almost below sea level to playing at like what 5,000 feet above sea level. Like that it's a game you expect an L. So whatever, you take it, you move on.
No, my guy Michael Christian brought up a really good point, and I put up the comment at the same time Jonathan Rumacon was trying to. The crowd giving him MVP chant was absolutely disgusting.
Seriously,
like
that shit pissed me off too,
bro. It was
garbage.
Disgusting, bro.
Garbage.
Keith has brothers from the hood. You damn straight, Miss Lynette. And they gonna see a couple of he got one brother that we know of who live in LA. But they gonna show that way Jokic got some wonderful things coming his way, bro. Like a Udonis has them start in his near future. Thank you, Pride by Pack TV, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said Bam got some work to do. He was getting baked. Jokic is a hoe for that. Yes, he is. He got me hot tonight. Same here, my guy. Christian Cardus, thank you for the $1.99. Don't know. You said they was on that O'Hare air from Lorax. Yeah, Gadiel Cartagena, let's start to you, bro. You can talk about the game, or you can talk about this bitch ass whole Jokic.
No, I think we'll get to the game eventually. It's just like I can't wait to see what the reciprocation looks like from the Heat, because they come to us exactly 3 weeks from today. And you know, this team, they pride themselves on having that dog mentality. They fight back. Like, they don't take shit from anybody, right? I don't think PJ Tucker was even in the game at that point. Markieff, was it a stupid foul? Sure, but he was pissed off. They were getting like bitched out by the refs the entire game. Not that we lost because of the refs. It was the Miami Heat is the reason that we lost today. It wasn't because of the refs. But like, it was a frustrating game, and it was a frustration foul, right? But like Ariel said, you don't do that. Like, you're the face of the league. You're the MVP, and everyone around you saying, oh, why doesn't Jokic get enough credit? Like, he's such a likable guy. He does all the good things. And yes, he can do those things. You can't have moments like this if you want to be the face of the league. That's just as simple as that. This is a coward-ass move. Like, you can't do these types of things. After playing a pretty good game, he dominated Bam Adebayo through and through. You can't do these things. He should get suspended. Like, I don't want to see him play basketball for a week or two, because you can't do those things. He could, like Brian said, you can literally kill someone. Like, that's close to 300-pound dude, like bulldozing into someone from behind. That whiplash is dangerous. Is it? You can't do those things as Jokic. I can't wait to see what we do to him on November 29th. It was a bad game. It was a bad game for the Heat. And I wasn't expecting to be so emotional, but I was genuinely just mad looking at my TV. Like, you can't do those things against the Heat, and then so close to the end of the game at home with your team winning. It's like, so much cowardice coming from that one moment from Jokic. I really, really like Jokic, and fuck that guy after this. I'm sick of his shit.
Like, to be completely honest with you, prior to tonight, Jokic was one of my top 2 or 3 favorite centers in the league. Mm-hmm. Like, in the conversation with Bam, I love the way dude plays. I used to love the way he plays until he became a bitch ass hoe ass bitch. This Ramadan, I think Gab brought up a good point. I want to see this motherfucker suspended. Like, I'm talking about, I want to see major games taken. Like, I want at least 4 games.
He's the face of the league. Like,
you're the MVP.
He's supposed to be the guy. You can't make this and then give him 2 games, a slap on the wrist. Fuck no. Sit him down for 6-8 games at the very minimum.
No, make his return game the Miami game. You can't play till then.
NBA brand with that. Like, that's what they're trying to take out of the game, and then Jokic comes in and with absolutely no reason. You don't hit someone, like, talk to him, bark at him, whatever. You don't do that. You don't do that.
Ramadan, where are you on the fuck? I almost said the N-word on this show, and I usually don't go that far. You know what I mean? But let's stick to bitch ass, hoe ass, bitch. Where are you on Jokic or the game? You can choose whichever one you want to talk about, because we got to talk about the actual game at some point on here.
Yeah, I'm going to start with Jokic, right? I mean, first of all, like Ariel said, and everybody basically said, you can really hurt somebody doing that. I mean, Morris is going to be out with whiplash for a good minute, right? And that neck is going to be bothering him for a long time. And I just want to thank Genuel Bolandres for the Australian, I think $5 dono. I would have done what Jokic did to our players. Trash. That's
Wait.
yeah.
what?
All right, cool. Thanks for the money. Yeah. So I think
Are
Jokic
you
needs to be out of here
Yugoslavian
for as long that Morris.
like Jokic? That didn't. I don't think that
Yeah.
translated the way that you wanted it to, bro. Give us $5 more and try it again. Go ahead, Ramadan.
That's why I said straight up, just thanks for the money, right? Appreciate it. But yeah, he needs to be suspended for as long as Morris is going to be hurt for, because Morris is going to be out for a good minute, right? That neck is going to be sore, and pretty much he's going to be like coming off of whiplash. So first of all, he needs to be suspended for a couple of weeks, fined at least $50,000. That's a malicious move with malicious intent. Like that's battery, right? That's pretty much battery. You can go to jail for that if you did that on the street. So first of all, with that. Second of all, these fans, right? Chanting MVP, go chant finals MVP, because I mean, when was the last time Denver went to the finals? They need to just shut the hell up, right? And afterwards, I actually heard some "Let's Go Heat" chants in the building as well. So fuck Denver overall. And I mean, what can we say really about the game, right? Let's give Jimmy Butler his flowers. I felt like he had a really good game. He was the only guy that really felt like he was putting something into it. But as far as the game goes, I mean, Duncan started hitting in the first quarter, and then he picked up 2 early fouls, and that kind of went away from there. And nobody was hitting all night. The offensive plays were stupid. We weren't taking good shots. We weren't making quality looks. We were over doubling and over switching, and Bam was ending up on the perimeter, and Jokic was having mismatches, and they were attacking that mismatches. It was kind of a lot of similarities from what we saw last year with over switching, and we seeing Bam in the perimeter. So, as far as the game goes, just a shit game in Denver. I just can't wait for us to get it back when we come back home.
Yeah, Twisted Tapioca, light skinned opinions is back. That's the other black guy. Quit being racist on my show. I think Ramlakan started us off with the basketball talk. So, Ariel, I'll let you pick it up from there. Give me your thoughts on what actually was supposed to be a basketball game tonight.
Early on, just kind of felt like the Heat came out with not very much energy. I've generally you play at altitude, that stuff like that starts to wear on you and affect you as the game goes on, right? You start to empty the gas tank a little bit earlier, the lungs start burning and it gets harder. It's not something that happens to you early in the game, really. So for them to come out with that kind of intensity, that kind of effort, it was lacking all night long. Careless turnovers, the defense, I mean, at the point of attack, they tried all kinds of different things. They were switching a lot in this game. The switches were sloppy. They were getting beaten by slips. Guys were still getting to the rim off of the switches. A lot of the stuff that we saw last year where guys like Caleb Martin and Duncan Robinson end up on Nikola Jokic down low, that's just like you're asking to get killed. And I mean, like, just overall, just a dumb game. Like, I tweeted that they played a dumb game. Didn't make their shots, so that's kind of a byproduct of just, I mean, you're gonna have off nights, but there's no excuse for the way that they played defensively tonight. They got killed. Denver got whatever they wanted on both ends of the court. They killed the Heat in the paint, out rebounded them, points in the paint, second chance points, all that stuff heavily in Denver's favor. So you're not going to win games playing like that. I think though, going into this road trip, you look at the 5 games, you say, okay, maybe you lose in Denver. You win the 2 LA games, maybe you lose in Utah, and then you end it with a win in OKC. I think we would all take that. A 3-2 road trip, I think, would be pretty successful given the level of competition they're playing. So I think they're right on track. You throw this one out and move on to LA.
No, for sure. Thank you, Negative Jack, for kind of bringing some perspective back to this. We went kind of 13 minutes talking about Jokic and have yet to wish Marquis for speedy recovery and well wishes. So that's my part. I do apologize for that. That is our player. We do hope that he is okay. And if not, then he gets better as quickly as possible. So thank you for kind of leveling us out in that regard. Brian, I'm going to toss it to you, bro. Give me your thoughts on the actual basketball game.
Yeah, I just felt like everything was slow, sloppy. Like the team looked tired. Except for Jimmy, he somehow had the energy that everybody else didn't have. But it just felt like the Heat didn't really get anything going offensively. They couldn't stop the Nuggets defensively. Just an overall really, really bad game. And I don't really know what to chalk it up to outside of elevation, outside of just, the time change, whatever. Because this looks completely differently from how they've looked these their first 7 games. So I don't know. It's a bad game. You take it, you move on to LA, and hopefully they find that energy in LA.
Yeah, thank you, GSH Everything for the _27 for the $2 dono. He said, "Why Lowry not going to the rim?" I think because that's not really his game.
Yeah,
Lowry isn't a a break you down off the dribble, ISO bucket getter, going to the rim. No, he's much more of a facilitator, get you into your sets, quarterback, like he's been doing. So get it to the rim ain't really his thing. He kind of plays a role on offense, facilitator and secondary
Bricklayer.
Oh, for sure. Like he wasn't fulfilling any of those fucking roles tonight. Gadiel Cartagena, go ahead and tell me your thoughts on the entire game.
So to GSH everything _27's point, we struggle with rim pressure outside of Jimmy Butler. I think that's a big issue for this team. And you see like the clunkiness of the offense at times. It's because no one's been in the defense. Like Bam, as great as he is as a role man, like I've kind of touched on it in previous post games, he really struggles putting the ball on the ground and getting his own bucket. He struggles kind of creating his own space in the post against bigger guys, which is just a byproduct of going against bigger guys. But I almost feel like we're not using him all the way correctly. I don't really know what it is, but I almost would prefer him to be like a pick and pop big as opposed to trying to get into the paint at all times, because we really struggle getting rim pressure, especially when Bam is rolling. If we don't hit Bam on the roll, like our offense just kind of goes to shit after that. But outside of that, like you just can't have Lowry play this poorly. You can't have Bam play this poorly offensively. I think Bam, Lowry, and Hero combined to go 6 of 30 tonight. We're going to lose every game that happens. As good as I want this team to be, we need 3 of our 4 best players to play like 3 of our 4 best players. So if they're not going to do that, whatever. It's a bad game. I'm not putting too much stock into it. I think the rim pressure is a big concern for me at this point offensively. I think that's something that hopefully Oladipo can bring. But they'll be fine. But they definitely have a problem getting to the rim and staying consistent at getting to the rim. Because if it's not Jimmy, it's just a really tough contested shot offense, which can work. We have some shot makers, but it's not ideal. And you're going to have nights like this.
Yeah, when you talk about 3 of our 4 players, this is normally a game where I would love to absolutely shit on Tyler Hero. But it just kind of like he falls so far down the list of things on my mind right now. Like I didn't even think about Tyler Hero once prior to starting the show. Because, I mean, I'm not going to put this loss on him. Nobody played. Like, nobody played worth the damn. And then Jokic just kind of took over everything. GHS everything, _27. Thank you for the $2 dono. He says, has Duncan defense regressed? Man, he looking bad. I think so. But that's the problem that he had prior to last year.
Yeah.
Like, he got in foul trouble early.
And he's really soft on the boards. Like, he boxes out once a year.
Oh,
and
my God.
It's like there's 2 offensive boards on Duncan's head every single game.
Yeah.
I think it was JaMychal Green today. Like, it's so simple. You have a long wingspan. Just put a body on a body as soon as the ball goes up. It's not that difficult. If you're going to just run around doing cardio, you might as well go ahead and just do a little bit of high-intensity interval training and just put your body into someone. Get that weight workout in too. Get a full workout in Duncan, because if like he played fine today offensively, I thought he was okay. Some good passing, some shot making. He can't be that soft defensively, especially with this team. There's a bunch of dogs and then a piece of wet toilet paper.
I'm going to read it, Samurai Kai, Samurai Radio. Thank you for the $1.99 dono. 19 and 15 is not what's going to happen.
Gutless.
Yeah, he has no guts. He wants me to pay him.
Hey, give him a break. He's a Dolphins fan.
Right. Anything that we do is better than what the fuck he has to watch every week. Jonathan Ramlakan, you already kind of talked about the game. I kind of want to go back to talk about bitch ass Jokic. And since you are a resident fight expert, somebody said it in the comments, but I think I would like to see it. Fuck the game. Just put Udonis Haslem and Jokic in center court.
Start UD.
And just let Udonis do whatever the Lord leads him to do. Would that be something that you'd watch? How would you break down that fight for us?
Real quick, before you do that, Jonathan, do you not feel like who do you think would be a better matchup for Jokic? Would it be UD or would it be PJ? Because I know what my answer is. I want to know what you think. In a fight, I mean.
Oh, yeah. Fight week on 5 on the postgame show.
I'm taking UD.
Really? Okay, why?
He has that Sean Strickland crazy in him.
You don't think PJ does?
PJ does, but I think it's capped.
Okay, I think it might be capped. I don't totally agree with that, but I'd go PJ because he's got a lower center of gravity. I think he'd get lower on Nikola Jokic. I think he'd put him on his butt, get on top of him, and go apeshit on him. So I think I'd go PJ. I like PJ being the retaliation guy in the next matchup.
What, you think PJ can wrestle though?
He's literally a fucking mechanic.
He's like a fire. He's built like a fire hydrant. Like, yeah,
he's built like DC.
I mean, relatively. We're talking NBA players, so relatively speaking, of course. But
it seems like I feel like he'd be a really uncoordinated wrestler. I don't know if he could get Jokic down. Or
I think
keep him there.
I think if you're a professional athlete, he has the potential to be a really good wrestler if he learned how to wrestle.
Bro, I got some fight analysis for y'all. That boy UD is from Overtown. You hear me? That boy gonna beat Jokic the fuck up. That's some fight analysis. You feel me? Let's talk about some of these ragged ass players on Miami who didn't do anything. Let's start with Bam Adebayo. He got work. He got his ass worked tonight by Jokic. Like, and I mean, I tweeted it. Like, it's just okay. I get it. Jokic is a way better player than Bam Adebayo is.
Yes.
But Bam ain't even pitched that hole tonight. Like, he didn't do nothing to him. He didn't even breathe on him. Thank you, Isaiah Curry, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, start UD on November 29th, please and thanks. We are all with you. We stand in solidarity with you on that shit, brother.
Yep.
Yeah, Gad, I'll start with you, bro. What was up with Bam defensively and offensively, really?
Defensively, I just think the switching at some points, it's like the switching is okay at times. But there's other moments where I just feel like we always struggle with being more selective on switching, just understanding when to do it. There's sometimes where you don't need to stop Marcus Morris 34 feet from the basket. Or not Marcus Morris. Monte Morris. 34 feet from the basket. You just don't need to do that. And then a guy like Jokic, he's just so good at positioning himself. He knows how to work against guys like Bam. Like, I don't think the defense was so much the issue. I think the offense, like just getting the ball at point blank range and not being able to do anything against Jokic was very, very frustrating. I get he's tall. You just have to figure out ways to do that. And then there was moments where he would get a smaller defender on him. Like, I think there was one time he got JaMychal Green, who isn't that much smaller, but Bam has a definite advantage bullying him in the post. He just took like a 20-foot fadeaway on the baseline. Those types of things just don't work. Like, I feel like Bam's mentality wasn't all the way there to get to the right shots. He was taking shots, not the right ones. It wasn't very pretty from him. And he can't really do anything off the dribble right now. That's a part of his game that's definitely lacking. So until that turns up, he's going to be a pick and pop kind of jab step guy. And that's really all he's going to be offensively outside of the role.
That sucks. Well, you should tweet that to Ethan because I don't think that's a half bad idea. Like 5 reasons.
Can I propose something?
Sure.
I would really love to see Bam used the same way that John Collins is used with the Hawks. I would really, really like that.
I would too. Wouldn't Kyle Lowry have to be more of a threat off the bounce in order to make that happen?
But he's a good enough threat off the bounce. Like, he can pull up from three. He's can't get to the rim the way he wants to without. He really doesn't take layups while looking at the basket at this point. But just like run, like pick and pop. Have Bam really space himself out and just move around. Like, I feel like there's times where Bam just isn't moving enough on the possession offensively. John Collins is always moving. For all the gripes you can have with his game, he's always moving, and he takes pretty good shots. Like, he's efficient because he has touch as a shooter, and then the finishing is a little iffy. He can take the mismatches every now and again. But I would really love to see him used kind of the same way John Collins is used. I know we're in the season now, and that doesn't seem to be the plan. But that kind of tweak would be pretty nice.
That's a pretty interesting one, and I think we should explore that as a group. But thank you, Show Business 77 for the $5 dono. He said Bam has 3 to 4 attacks to the rim, and That's not he. That's Ho.
Yeah.
Ho ends up with 4 fouls, and it's a totally different game. Why was this not adjusted at halftime? Love Bam. Losses on him. The loss is definitely not only on Bam. Let's not forget Kyle Lowry went 0 for 8 from the field out there and looked like absolute garbage.
It was a team loss.
Yeah, it was like I said, there was no one person that I'm gonna pin this loss on. I feel like I have to do this because my brother is watching the show and he's a Bulls fan, and he wanted me to say that the Bulls beat the Nets. I don't give a shit. They are frauds, and I will say that on any stream that I own. They cannot play defense. The Bulls are frauds. But let's explore that Bam John Collins thing that Gab brought up. Brian, do you think that the Heat should use Bam more like John Collins? Like, would you like to see that?
He definitely can. I mean, he definitely can be used more like John Collins. I mean, he definitely has the athleticism and the skill to be. I think that how they've been using him to this point has been fine. Like, Bam's been obviously a really good player for years, so I'm not super concerned about it. I think that yes, there are things that can be done to improve at least Bam. I'm sorry. I think there are things that can be done to improve Bam's effectiveness, but at the same time, I think that tonight was just a really bad matchup for Bam. I think typically Bam's production, how he's used, is going to be all right, but yeah, I wouldn't have a problem with Bam being used more as a pick and pop big, moving around on offense and kind of filling those gaps to get easy buckets around the rim. But what, Bulls won?
That's my brother.
I got you. But yeah, overall, I don't really have a problem with how Bam's being used.
Ariel, you think that we should use him more like John Collins?
I mean, yeah, like, do you want to unlock more of his skill set and use, put him in positions where, he's able to be more successful as a scorer? Then sure, yeah, like who wouldn't want that from Bam? But I do think the Heat roster is constructed a little bit differently from how the Hawks are constructed, and Gad made the good point of the differences between Trae Young and Kyle Lowry as point guards. So it's not like it wouldn't be apples to apples, but yeah, sure. Use Bam more as a spot up threat and use him more in just situations where he's forced to kind of have to score. But honestly, I also think, I don't remember, it might have been Gad or one of you guys made a really good point earlier that the Heat just need their best players to be their best players.
Yep.
And I feel like, if you get a really good game out of Jimmy, right? If you get a really good game out of, say, Kyle tonight or Bam or Tyler, whoever it is, you're probably at least in this game. So, I mean, like, yeah, I think with Bam, it just kind of comes down to, he had one of those games where he just wasn't there, and Brian made the point that going against Nikola Jokic is a really tough. It's probably the toughest matchup for him in the NBA. Nikola Jokic, Joel Embiid, probably the two toughest matchups for him in the NBA because those are the two best centers in the NBA. So, like, yeah, you're going to have nights where you're going to get worked. You want to see more from Bam. We've seen him have really strong games against guys like Joel Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns in the past. So, like, he has it in him. He's capable of it. He just didn't bring it tonight. At the same time, the whole team kind of didn't really bring it outside of Jimmy Butler. So, I don't know. That's my answer.
That's a good answer. Thank you, Jason Adeboale, for the $4.99. Don't know. He said Duncan be tricking y'all, man. Might be a top 5 softest guys in the league. Low IQ, can't box out, can't consistently rebound, can't dribble, can't pass.
Yo, he is like, as for all that he does for the Heat on offense, he might be the dumbest defensive player on the team. Like, he just has so many just absolute lapses on defense where he misses rotations, where he just completely, like, his spatial awareness is terrible. Like, he just forgets to box out. He doesn't even look for his guy. Stupid fouls for absolutely just like low IQ plays on defense. He's good for anywhere between 2 and 4 of those per game. And so, yeah, I think that's actually that dono is pretty on the money.
Yeah, but I mean, and it comes on a good shooting night from Duncan too. Like, he shot the ball okay, but you know what I mean? But it was just like everything else, the other parts of his game, they were just highlighted because he's so dumb. Like, I think Jimmy was being serious when he called him dumb. Thank you about that for the $4.99. Don't know. He said, so what happens with the 4 spot? We kind of need Morris. Big Uzi Yurt isn't ready for heavy minutes yet. Do we see more minutes from UD? Absolutely not. You will not see that. That's not what's going to happen. Like, at the 4,
more Jimmy at the 4, maybe.
KZ Paul.
No.
That's actually a really good question that I kind of want to get to right after Jonathan gets his points in on Bam. But before, thank you, Christian Cardews, for the $1.99. Don't know. He said, Jokic built like Majin Buu. Jabba had a baby. I'm fucking with it, bro. I'm fucking with it, Christian. Jonathan, tell me, do you think Bam should play more like Collins?
Yeah, I mean, for sure, right? You see Collins, he kind of has that offensive freedom where he does a little bit more. He's able to shoot the 3, and I like the point that Gad made where he said he wants to use him in a little bit more in a pick and pop role, right? Kind of that role that Chris Bosh used to have, where he had that 18 to 20 foot jumper, and once he gets that jumper down and he just starts nailing it at a little bit high of a clip, players are gonna have to play up on him a little bit more, and then he'll be able to get those little more space going to the rim. I feel like right now he's caught in between doing either one or the other. And the defensive player is just able to read what he's going to be able to do. So once he's able to kind of creatively mix it up between, faking that jump shot, driving it in, or deciding what he wants to do kind of on the fly, I think that's when it was going to be a little more key. I think getting him some more jump shots, getting him some more space, those pick and pops should work a little more to perfection.
Yeah, I want to get to the Duncan thing like in a second, but I think I'm gonna forget about the other thing if I don't talk about it now. What is going to be the answer at the 4 if Markieff has to miss significant time? Who's going to spot PJ in those minutes? Ramakan, we'll start with you and go the other way this time.
I mean, the options are, right, we got KZ Okpala, we got Omer, you're at 7. We got Udonis Haslem. So do you go with KZ? I mean, is that the one that you can just slide in there? You give him 10 minutes. You hope he doesn't mess up those 10 minutes, and you live with it at the end of the day. I mean, I think that's kind of what you want to have to do because defensively, he has the tools, right? He doesn't have the IQ defensively, but he has the tools. So he might be able to kind of grow into the role, right? The potential is somewhere there, right? We obviously picked him up for something. We have the best development team in the league. I think this could be a situation, and I'm not banking on this, but I think this could be a situation where maybe he gets thrusted into a role. He starts knocking down a couple threes and he gets some confidence. And now we have another guy coming off the bench that we can kind of just have sitting there. So I say you throw KZ there, you live with whatever happens, and you just hope for the best.
Yeah. Thank you, Jose. Hey, Lucas, for the $5 dono. He said, did we overlook the Nuggets for the Lakers? I don't think so. Frustrating loss today. Anyways, unto smacking Lakers on Wednesday. I also hate Jokic. UD would F him up. 100% agree with you, Jose. Hey, Lucas. Great comment. Thank you, Mark M, for the $2 dono. He said Jokic is built like Teletubbies.
Disrespectful to Teletubbies.
I'm telling you, Tiki Wiki is having a fit right now. Ariel.
Disrespecting my dog Dipsy.
I'm telling you, bro. Lala and Poe are rolling over on the ground. It's time for Tubby Toast out this bitch. Ariel.
Yes.
What the fuck were we talking about?
I'm trying literally as you were going off about Teletubbies. I'm like, wait, what are we talking? Oh, the four.
The four. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is that?
I totally, Jonathan, love your basketball analysis all the time. You know that, brother. Totally disagree with you. If KZ touches the floor for this team in any sort of semi-regular rotation role, the season is lost. Shoot it into the sun, tank, trade everybody. Like, there's no way. I don't want KZ anywhere near the court if it's not a blowout and the last 3 minutes of the game. I think the answer, first of all, we don't know what the situation is with Markieff, right? Like, for sure the foul looked bad. We don't know. He might miss a game. He might miss 5 games. He might miss 10. He might miss none. Like, we have no idea. So let's not jump to conclusions. But if he's going to miss some time, you're still starting PJ. And then I think you're just kind of staggering the minutes a little bit and moving Jimmy up to the 4 and playing a little bit smaller, going more death lineups. I don't think that's what you want to do with Jimmy. It's not what I want to do with Jimmy. But yeah. I think I don't think there's a better alternative. I think the only other option really would be to play Bam and Dedmon together. But Spo has never, ever shown us any inclination that he wants to do anything like that.
Hasn't 2 years ago with Myers Leonard.
Stiff a little bit. I was thinking about that, actually. You're right, but it's a little bit different. I mean, Myers Leonard was almost exclusively a 3-point shooter. Like, he was literally, he functioned
this is my
as
thing.
A spacer.
He does, absolutely. And he was very good at shooting the 3-4s when he played. But this is my thing. Like, you almost don't need someone that's super efficient. You just need someone who's willing to take the shot. Dedmon's willing to do that, right? He'll take those 2 to 3 threes a game that is at least going to get a closeout on him. And at a certain point, like, you look at this team, they don't have the depth to pick and choose. Like, Spo can't be stubborn right now. If Markieff Morris is out, Max Strus, don't really know what's going on with him. Hopefully he's able to come back next game. He can give you maybe like 5 minutes at the 4 when you play small, but you don't want to play that small. Like, I think at a certain point you signed Omer Yurtseven to eventually have to play him on a minimum contract. So you start Dedmon, you play Yurtseven off the bench for like 10 minutes.
He won't do it. He's not going to disrupt the starting 5. No, he won't do it.
That.
I agree with what you're saying in principle.
Especially against the Lakers. You're probably going to have to size up.
I agree with what you're saying in principle, but knowing Eric Spoelstra, like, he's going to keep the starting 5 the way it is, and I think it just you end up with more 3-guard lineups or 2-guard and 2-wing type lineups where Max Strus / Jimmy Butler play more minutes at the 4. It's not ideal, but I think that's what happens.
That boy is not boxing out. Strus, I can live with it. Caleb Martin, I can live with it. Depending on who they're playing against. But like against the Lakers,
I think PJ gets a minutes bump. To be honest with you, it might only be for a few minutes.
For a few 48, games. Boy.
It might just be for the next few games. But if Keith is out, I think PJ gets a minutes bump and Jimmy moves to the 4 a little bit more.
Oh boy!
Thank you, Jason Adebale, for the $9.99 download. He said when Dedmon was in the game, the offense was flowing because at least he shoots when he's open and rolls hard to get easy layups. When Bam decides to be Draymond, that's when our offense looks like this. Are you making the case that Dwayne Dedmon is a better basketball player than?
No, I think he's saying like there's more.
That's what you've been doing the last 3 minutes.
That's pretty much what I've been doing.
Wow. No, I think Bam, like,
That's great.
Shout out to Pokemon Sprites teaching me how to use Microsoft Paint.
Oh shit! Oh. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Gad. You were making a point.
oh no, I think with Bam, it's just the fact that like his shots just do not look good right now. And with Deadman, you're keeping the ball in someone like Hero or Lowry's hands a little bit more.
Yeah.
So it maybe just looks a little bit prettier because Bam with the ball in his hands just simply has not been great thus far. He had a really good game offensively against Utah, but at the same time, the ball does look like it moves better with that bench lineup a little
Isn't
bit.
it kind of interesting that in those minutes where like, you know, the two guys who last year had the ball in their hands so much and were so vital to the offense and the types of sets that they ran, specifically Bam and Duncan Robinson, are guys that are kind of struggling in different ways. Like I wouldn't say Bam's struggling this season, but he's struggling with some stuff.
Good. He looks good.
Yeah, he's had a really strong start to the season, but there are certain areas of his game where he's kind of struggling to find where he fits in, how and when to attack off the dribble. A lot of the same stuff we saw last year, but on a smaller scale, and specifically with Duncan just generally struggling for the most part this season. These two guys were featured in the offense last year. Now the offense looks a little bit different. So I think nights like tonight are going to happen. I mean, a lot of it is just bad shooting. Like the Heat got good looks through a lot of the game, not through the whole game.
We outshot the Nuggets.
Denver's a really good defense. Denver's a really good defense.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to thank Darius Jordan for the $2 donut. He said Spo should utilize too big sometimes. Bam, please, at the 4. Bam has to be willing to shoot the 3 in order for him to play the 4.
He said it. Didn't he say it to a bunch of kids? Did he lie to those kids at the camp?
I feel like he said that for a while.
I didn't call Bam Adebayo a liar, Gaddy Cartagena.
I'm not either, but I'm just saying, like, is that what happened?
He did a lot of kids.
Did Bam lie, or are we just waiting on something to happen? Because I don't think Bam is the type of guy to lie to a bunch of children.
No, I don't think so. Bam Adebayo, if you're the man that we think you are, get your ass at the 3-point line and shoot threes. Brian, what do you think they're going to do at the 4?
I think like Ariel mentioned, is probably going to be a bump up in PJ Tucker's minutes, but I really do see Jimmy at the 4 a lot more for however long Morris is out. I think we'll probably also see Max Strus at the 4, Caleb Martin, had not Gabe Vincent, but I don't know.
God, no.
Honestly, I'd rather have Gabe Vincent at the 4 than KZ Okpala at this point.
Yikes! This is where we are.
It's really, really bad. I think.
Oh my God, Brian!
Look, they just don't have very many options. I really think it's probably just going to be, Jimmy and PJ soaking up those extra minutes. But hopefully Markieff isn't out for a while because that situation is not great at the moment.
Ricky just bought 100% of the remaining KZ stock, all of it.
Ricky is 100%.
You've been bought out.
You can have it.
Owner of KZ.
Chill.
Listen, bro. I'm not one to say what I do to an NBA player, but if I started that game on the 29th, it's first quarter with me and Jokic, bitch ass. Like it's first. Off the dribble, bro. Tip off. I'm uppercutting the shit out that boy. I'm gonna get me one in because he probably gonna stomp my ass after that, bro. Like I don't know. He do cheap shots around this bitch. Oh, look at Ricky talking about facts.
There he is.
Let's talk about Duncan. Sorry ass.
Real quick before that, Aaron Anders asked me to put a Twinkie on the Teletubbies hands. So I put a Twinkie in the Teletubbies hand. Again, pro Photoshop.
See, bro, you don't even have to give us money all the time, bro. Just ask us to do some goofy shit, and we'll try our best to make that happen. Thank you, Christian Cardews, for the biggest dono that you've ever given us in your life. You probably emptied your life savings for this $4.99. He said Jokic only signed with the Nuggets because he thought they came with free barbecue and ranch. NBA Euros taught to be chunky and cowardly. Shaking my head. I'm with it, Christian Cardews. All the Jokic slander is welcome. Cardews, you are goated in the Heat in this chat, bro. You solidified your status last year, bro. One of our favorite commenters. You even came on
breakout season.
You know what I'm saying? that boy, he went for it. We was about to talk about Duncan Sarass. But I think we done talked enough about Duncan Sarass. I don't really want to talk about this game no more, bro. And we got another one coming up soon.
Wednesday.
Sure, that's soon enough. I need to forget this one never happened. Y'all got anything y'all want to talk about? Ramakan, you got any final thoughts on this game?
I mean, it was another game in Denver that we lost. Like one great person said before the player was out of here, right? We just got to keep it going, right? We got to keep it going. Yeah, man, just keep that shit rolling.
Ariel,
They're going to be fine. It's a bad night. Happens. It's going to happen a whole bunch of other times this season. They're going to be fine.
Brian,
I believe the elevation, and they're gonna blow out the Lakers. So we're chilling.
Gadiel Cartagena.
I want to see this be a spark for this team a little bit. Not that they haven't been playing poorly, but I want to see this team come out mad against the Lakers. Like, take it out on them because this was an ugly game. They kind of did the same thing to the Jazz a little bit. They're on a road trip right now. They're going to be with each other for like the next, week and a half or whatever. This could be a spark for this team. So as ugly as it looked tonight, like having this kind of moment at the end of the game, you might see the Dogs really in full force over the next few weeks, and that could be pretty exciting as a Heat fan. But I do want to see them play better. Like this, 2 of their last 3 games have been borderline unacceptable.
Yep.
My final thoughts on this game. Nikola Jokic's mother is a lady of the night. And and Jokic sells quadrants of his body for gummy bears at nighttime in Denver. So let's go on to the next game in which we're playing the Los Angeles Lakers. They are sorry too. Just to be honest with you, they're not good. Like I know they're 5-5. I have not seen anything impressive from them all year. They have tons of issues over there. I don't know what it is, but either way, Ariel, the boy feeling good?
Boy, feeling great. That team sucks. I think the Heat are going to come out mad, like Gad alluded to, and they're going to kill the Lakers. So I feel great about it.
Brought by Pat TV, bro. What's going on, bro?
Yeah, what do you like? That team stinks. They don't have LeBron too. Like they absolutely stink.
Yeah, we lose to Denver all the time in Denver. Like that's why I'm not really pissed about the game itself. Just Jokic. Fucking Nazis. Brian, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. Like I said, Lakers are not a good team, so I'm feeling a big blowout.
Gadiel Cartagena, the boy feeling good?
The boy, we better win this game. Like that's where I'm at. Like this, I've watched a lot of Lakers ball because they always play so damn late. This team is not good. They do not play defense. They don't really stop anything. The only reason why this game could be close is one, if they have an uncharacteristic shooting night, or they get a ton of rebounds. So the only thing that worries me is the size a little bit. But if a day-to-day is going to be questionable again, we could be okay. So I want the Heat to win this game, hopefully with flying colors. Win this game, and then we can talk about where the team's at.
Jonathan Ramcon, the boy feeling good?
The boy feeling good. I mean, tomorrow or Wednesday, we're going to see a house being built by Russell Westbrook with all those bricks. I just say leave him open and let him shoot 40 shots that whole game. Like everybody said, this team's absolute dog shit anyways. So I see us going out there 79-3.
Y'all know where the boy at. Nikola Jokic's mother charges $5 at night for handies. Go see her. She got a Tuesday night special for y'all already. As far as the Lakers are concerned, the Heat about to blow that shit out. Like, whatever. If y'all don't like me talk about Nikola Jokic's mother,
by all means,
tell her to pick a different profession, bro. I can't help what she does.
I just want to say,
I'm just here to lay out the facts.
I just want to say I want no smoke with the Serbian mob. So, you know.
Hey, we drink vodka together or whatever, however the fuck they talk in Serbia. I don't care. The Heat about to blow that shit out versus the Lakers. They suck. They have Russell Westbrook, the Grim Reaper of NBA teams. Listen, bro, that team is ass, bro. Like I have no fear whatsoever.
Who's their 4th best player?
Huh?
Who's their 4th best player?
Kent Bazemore,
Taylor Horton Tucker,
Avery Bradley, like
Trevor.
The new Alex Caruso, that one of the new white guy.
Oh, it's Melo. Is Melo the 3rd or 4th?
Well, I'm saying because
Melo
LeBron's
might be
out.
their 2nd best player.
LeBron's out. Melo's their best player right now. If you want to be completely honest, that boy is. Do not sleep on Melo. He's absolutely been balling. Everybody else trash, but Melo's the only reason they're 5-5. They could be 2-8 right now if Melo wasn't playing like
100%.
2006 Melo.
No.
I like this. Somebody said Jokic bleeds once a month. These are facts. Fun fact, Jokic's favorite video game, GTA 4, in the car. Yes, indeed. That's where he replays his childhood with his mom. So I told y'all wasn't getting an hour out of me tonight, and I'm going to do this before somebody come and cancel Ethan's network. Thank you in the comments. whatever, bro. Like, play the fucking video, Jonathan. I'm sick of this shit.
Hold up. Okay.
Oh,
All right.
yeah. Okay, never mind. Wait, let's do this again. Thank you to Air Aggressive Insurance for sponsoring the post-game show. I'm not going to curse when I'm talking about her because she's a lovely woman who will, in fact, be joining us on the post-game show one time this season. We've already talked about it. I'm not going to tell y'all what date. I will let it be a surprise until probably the game before. But if you have any insurance needs, please contact Air Aggressive Insurance at 954-581-8800 or at insurancebyLynette.com. Or you can follow her on Twitter. Look at our Twitter timeline. A bunch of us blasted tweets at Air Aggressive Insurance today. Follow her on there. And the boy Jonathan Rumlicon trying to beat me to the punch by putting CPT Florida right up behind it. So, CPT Florida, technological needs, business, CPT Florida, Tay. Thank you, Darren Jordan, for the $2 buzzer beater. Don't know. Trade KZ for Melo. So he a year away from Giannis. Nobody will believe that. They've seen KZ just like you've seen KZ. Play the video, Jonathan.
It's coming. Coming.
Hurry the hell up. My fingers
Jimmy Buckets! Clutch time!
Tyler Hero, what a finisher he's become.
Lane, Oladipo. Oh! That's right. You better mean mug after you dunk on somebody that way.